Things are getting very, very complicated. This afternoon, a three-judge bench of the High Court delivered a very bad news to Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi had complained that the Deputy Chief Justice has no legal authority to constitute a bench. The three-judge bench made its ruling today, where they stated clearly that Deputy Chief Justice has got that legal authority. So Rigathi lost that petition. That should be a warning to Rigathi Gachagua. It should show Rigathi Gachagua what's coming ahead. Before we dig deep into that, let me say this. As I talk, Rigathi Gachagua cannot access his Harambee House office. He can't access his current residence office. His security has been withdrawn. His staff have been sent on compulsory leave. He can't preside or perform any official government's function. So Rigathi is just a deputy president, but without portfolio. It's only the courts who are now recognizing Rigathi as the deputy president, because the government does not recognize Rigathi as the deputy president. If the courts were to return Rigathi Gachagua as the deputy president, which so far they have actually done, will all this change? Will Ruto and his team allow Rigathi to perform these functions? The answer is a very big no. Right now, according to the courts, Rigathi still remains the deputy president, but he can't do all this. So even if the courts were to rule that he remains the deputy president, he'll still not perform all these functions. Rigathi Gachagua should be patriotic enough to let go, because it's foolhardy for Kenya to have two deputy presidents. Rigathi has to be patriotic enough. That's a public office. If the government is not interested in him, let him resign and go. Let him allow Kenya to move on. Let him not put the country in all this confusion. Let's listen to this judge before we continue.
The applicants have equally in their submissions attempted to cast aspersions on the proceedings of this court, some of which I have already referenced. That is that the court was convened on a Saturday, stating that there is no urgency in this matter, and so there was no need to convene the sittings of the 22nd day of October 2024, that this matter is being given priority over other petitions which have been filed, an insinuation that the bench is part of a conspiracy to infringe the petitioner's Article 50 right to fair hearing, and what I have again alluded to, that the transmission of the files from the Kirugoya High Court took place with what has been referred to as a supersonic speed. One of the counsels went further by intimating that an exercise akin to the radical surgery may well be forthcoming, a statement which the bench, with tremendous respect, perceives as a veiled attempt at intimidation. The bench feels that such remarks are regrettable and wholly inappropriate. This bench remains firm in its duty and will not be swayed or influenced by any form of intimidation, regardless of its source. The bench takes the view that the applicants appear to selectively focus on aspects that favor their position while conveniently disregarding that declines that the applicants are presently benefiting from final conservatory orders, which this bench did not deem it fit to lift. Despite having obtained final conservatory orders, as the court has already observed, it is now apparent that the applicants no longer perceive the urgency in this matter. Instead, they seek to cast aspersions on this court for addressing the matter with the necessary expedition. Such conduct is contradictory and undermines the very urgency that the applicants had initially invoked. The bench notes that the issues raised in this petition have, on various occasions and before different judges, consistently been certified as urgent and as involving substantive constitutional questions. This underscores the gravity and significance of the matters at hand.
Let's put all that into perspective. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. Yes, it's coming out very clearly that the judges are acknowledging this fact that Rigathi Gachagwa's legal team is trying to delay the process. They no longer see that process as urgent to them. We remember that upon Rigathi being impeached at the Senate, under the certificate of urgency, they obtained a conservatory order that stopped the implementations of the Senate's resolutions. It's very interesting that this matter is no longer urgent to Rigathi Gachagua and his team. They are trying to employ some delaying tactics, and the court has also just confirmed that. It's very true, Rigathi and his legal team, they are trying to delay this process because they know they cannot win this legal war. When judgment will be made, it will be made against them. The judgment will go against them. Rigathi knows he has got no legal basis to challenge his impeachment. So his only remaining option is to delay the process. That's what Rigathi Gachagua and his team are trying to do. And just as I've been explaining in this forum, Rigathi wants to delay the process maybe for the next 5 months. If it reaches 5 months, Rigathi Gachagua will have served his 2.5 years. So he will qualify for the benefits. That's what Rigathi Gachagua is trying to do. He wants to delay the process, hopefully for the next about 5 months. I'm also seeing a Rigathi Gachagua who is not smart enough. He should use this window the courts have accorded him to resign. If he resigns today, he will have resigned as Kenya's deputy president. And that can give him some leeway to maybe contest in the next or future elections. If he can resign today as a deputy president, I don't know why Rigathi is not exploiting that window. If he waits for the courts to give its final verdict, the courts can rule against him. So he will remain an impeached deputy president. He should resign before the court finally makes a ruling whether he was impeached or not. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Any person watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. It's coming out very clearly that Rigathi Gachagwa's legal team, they are there to delay the process. And for those who have been following the proceedings, it came out very, very clearly. And even the judges have realized that they are still playing to Rigathi Gachagwa's whims so that eventually, when they will give their ruling, Rigathi Gachagua and his team will not complain that they were not given a fair hearing. I think that's why the judges are still entertaining the delaying tactics from Rigathi's team. Let's meet in our next analysis.